Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. So today in our discussion, we'll discuss about the design problem on steel railway bridge. Okay, so let us get started. So this is the problem. So the problem reads as an open web girder bridge consists of two pratt trusses of the type shown in figure. So this is the pratt truss that is shown in the figure. The span of the truss is 24 meters center to center of bearing. So here is one bearing, here is one bearing. So this entire span is 24 meters. So this entire span of 24 meters divided into 6 panels each of 4 meters. So this distance, all this distance is 4 meters. You are having 6 panels. The bridge supports an equivalent uniformly distributed live load of 175 kN per meter. Okay, so here in this question, the EUDL need not be calculated from the table. Tables available in the bridge rule book. So it is already EUDL is already given to you, that is 175 kN per meter. So you need not refer the table. The dead load transmitted to each truss inclusive of cell weight is 15 kN per meter. So dead load from the deck to the bearings then ultimately to this truss is also given. So you need not calculate separately the live load and dead load. It's already given in the question. What you have to do is you have to design the members U2 U3. So this is U2 U3. This is a top chord member. U4 L4. U4 L4. This is a vertical member. U2 L3. U2 L3. This is a diagonal member. And L2 L3. So L2 L3 is a bottom chord member. So you have four different kind of members. One is a top chord member, bottom chord member, diagonal member, and vertical member. So for these four members, you have to design the bridge. Assume impact factor to be 15%. So now this is a pratt truss. Okay, so the pratt truss is a through bearing bridge where the deck is supported on the bottom chord and not the top chord. So here first we'll do what we do is for finding the design forces. For designing these members, we need to find what is the design forces in each of these members. For that, we need to know what is the influence line diagram for these members. So what you do is you draw the ILD, influence line diagram for each member. The first member is U2 U3. So U2 U. For top chord member, as explained in the foot over bridge problem, so the terminating point is U3. So here it will have the maximum ordinate. So this triangle will have an ILD of like this. Now this ILD is calculated using this formula. A for lower chord and upper chord members. Okay, this is calculated by this formula A into L minus A in by L by H. Okay, so here A is for U2 U3. Okay, so U2 U3, this is A from here to here, center to here, end to the center is A, and this is L minus A. So this is both A and L minus A is 12. So 12 into 12 by L is 24 into H. H is 4 meters. So this comes out to be 1.5. You know the handle. Now for this member, say U2 L3, U2 L3. So this is a diagonal. Okay, so for diagonal member, this diagonal member, the ILD will be U2 and L3 now for this member. So it will have this variation will have it will increase. This ILD will start from 0 to up to a certain value here. So at U2 it will have a maximum ordinate, then it will come down. Okay, it will come down in this during this portion. It will come and follow this path, and then it will again reach a maximum ordinate at L3, and then it will go back to 0. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to find what is this ordinate and what is this ordinate. So basically you are having a variation from positive to negative, so that means the ILD will have both compressive as well as tensile forces. So this is what diagonal members and vertical members are subjected to. So they'll be they'll be carrying combination of both tensile and compressive forces, whereas for top members and bottom chord members you will have either compressive or tensile members. Now how to calculate this ordinance? So this is given by 8. This distance is 8, from here to here it is 8 by 24. Entire distance is 24 into 1. 1 means what is the maximum ordinate? So this value will have maximum ordinate at here, that's why into 1 into cosec theta. Okay, here theta is 45 degree. Okay, this is 4, this is 4. So tan theta is 1, theta is 45 degree. 4 by 4 is 1. So cosec theta is cosec 45 degree is 1 by 0.707. So for any diagonal members, you will have this ILD component into the cosec component. Okay, so this gives you as 0.471. Similarly, for this component, you will have this is 12 and this side is 12 and this side is also 12. So 12 by 12 into 1 cosec 45 degree. So this is given as 0.707. So here you find what is the ordinates of these two. Okay, now this distance we do not know. Let us assume this distance is x and this distance is y. So from similar, you know this value, you know this value, you don't know this value and this value. So for similar triangles, from similar, and x plus y is 4, you can find the ratio of x by y from similar triangles. Thus you can evaluate what are the values of x and y. Once you know x and y, then you know the entire triangle base for the positive triangle and triangle base for the negative triangles. Thus you can find the area. So this is the idea behind finding the ordinates separately. Similarly, for the vertical member also, here the vertical member, as you can see, it starts from U4 L4. Okay, this member we are talking about, U4 L4. So it will start at here and terminate at here. So it has started from here to 8 by 24 into 1. For vertical members, it will be same as the diagonal members, only that cosine component will not come. So okay, so this ordinate will be 8 by 24 into 1. And what is the this ordinate? 12 by 24 into 1. So this becomes as 0.5 and this becomes as 0.33. Again, here this value will be x, this value will be y. You can find the value of x and y from similar triangles. So you know what is this distances? Distance of this triangle, base of this triangle, and distance of the base of this triangle from the edge. Again, for the member L2 L3, which is a bottom chord member, you find what is the ordinate using this formula. This one. So you will have, this is A and this is L minus H. You will have this value as 4 by 3. So now, what is the area of the ILD? Okay. So for now, for this member U2 U3, it's a compression member. Top chord member, it's a compression member. We have found out the ordinate of the ILD. This is 1.5. So what is the area of the ILD? Half into 24 into 1.5. So this gives you 18 units, 18 meters, whatever, 18 units. So dead load is given. Dead load will be what? 15 kilonewton per meter into the area. Dead load will be the UDL, whatever UDL is given, into the area of the ILD triangle. So this gives you 15 into 18, 270. What is the live load? EUDL is given as 175. So 175 into 18, this gives us this value. Now what is impact load? Impact load is given as impact factor. Impact factor is 15%. So impact factor is 15% of always the live load. Here you have calculated the live load. The 15% of this is 3150, which is 472.5. So now the design force will be addition of the live load, dead load, and the impact load. So this combines and give us this value of 3892.5 kilonewton. Okay, so now you consider this member U2 L3, which is a diagonal member. So from the similar triangles, you know these ordinates, both the ordinates, and this by this ratio will be equal to this by this, and x plus y equals to 4. So from these two equations, if you solve, you will get x is equal to 2.4, y equals to 1.6. Now find what is the area of the positive ILD. Area of the positive ILD means is telling about this portion. You need to find what is the area of this. So this is, see, this value is 9.6. So half into 9.6 into 0.01. This will be the area of the positive portion. This is half into 14.24 into this value 0.707. Okay. So thus area of the positive ILD is 2.261. Area of the negative ILD is minus 5.09. Okay. Now find what is the dead load. The dead load is 15 into this value 2.261 plus 15 into. So this we are finding separately. Why are we finding separately? Because you have one portion of the ILD as positive and one portion of the ILD as negative. So it's a combination of both the compressive and tensile forces. For our sign convention, we take the positive values as compressive force and negative value as tensile forces. Okay. So this, if you combine these values is minus 42.44. So that means this is tensile. This dead load, whatever value is coming, is tensile. Now find what is the live load. Live load for the positive part is 175 into 2.261, so this gives us this value. Okay, now corresponding impact live load will be 15% of this. For this positive part we are finding separately, 15% of this value 395.61 gives us this value. Now live load for this negative part. Negative part we have find live load for positive part. Now for negative part, minus 5.09 area into 175, this gives us this value. So this is tensile. Now what will be the corresponding impact load for this value? Again 15% of 890.75, so it gives us 131.61 kN. So this is tensile, this is negative. Now what is the design force then? Okay, design force, you what you do is you add all the tensile forces. So minus, this is tensile force, this is tensile force, all right, and this is tensile force. So whatever T values are given in bracket, you add all this. So this design force is 1068, this much tensile force. Now you find what is the uh, compressive force. Okay, so dead load is this much, minus 42.44. Live load you have two component, this value you have to take 95.67, this is compressive one. Impact also compressive one you have to take. So compressive, this 159.35, this value you take. So you add all these values, you get 412.58 kilonewton as compressive. In the same diagonal member, you have a compressive, it carries the design forces as 412.58 kilonewton as the compressive load, and 1068.68 kilonewton as the tensile force. So you have to design this both separately as a compression. For this member has to be designed as a compression member, has to be checked as a compression member and as a tension member for this particularly respective design forces. Okay, so again similarly for member U4L4, which is vertical, which is the vertical member, this member this by this will be equal to this by this. So x plus y equals to 4, and 0.5 by 0.33 will be equal to x by y, or you can say 0.5 by y, you will be equal to 0.33 by x. So from this value we have solve this equation. We have x equals to 1.59, y equals to 2.41. So again this ILD area we find what is the positive zone, positive area of the ILD, negative area of the inlet, similar manner, just like the previous diagonal member we find. Then we find what is the dead load. So dead load is this area into this area. So 15 into positive this one, and 15 into minus this negative. So this comes out as negative, like the previous problem, minus 30.315. So dead load is tensile, whatever dead load is coming. Okay, then find what is the live load. Okay, positive live load, you find this. Positive corresponding impact load, you find this. Then negative live load, you find this. Then corresponding negative impact load, you find. Then what is the design compressive load and design tensile force in the similar manner, just as the previous member. Okay, now member L2 L3. Now the bottom guard members we know will be subjected under compression. So using this ordinate we know what is 4 by 3. The area of the ILD will be half into 4 by 3 into 24, so minus 16 units. So dead load is 15 into minus 16, minus 240. Tensile live load 175 into minus 16. So this is live load. Impact load 15% of live load. So you add all these forces, you will get 3460 as the tensile force. Okay. So this value will have to consider. In the next subsequent video, we will explain how the members are designed. Okay, how the recursion, other members, and all compression and tension members, all the other members that has been asked in the question are designed. So in this video, we have already described how to find the loads. Okay, corresponding live load, impact load, and how to find the ILD.